Hey, welcome to Wolf's Watch. I'm Wolf. Got a question for you. How are you preparing your team for the challenges that are coming? We talked about how Toyota prepares their people when they bring them on board, how they keep their skills upgraded, what they do. Think about this. Why were Apollo 13 astronauts successful in surviving the crisis that they had in flight? We've got the infamous Houston, we have a problem, which isn't the exact quote. I'm going to read it here. It says, okay, Houston, we've had a problem here, was the actual quote. And, today, April 13th of 1970 was when that occurred. Why were they successful? Now, there's a fair amount of luck in that, perhaps. Think about all the training that they did. They were well prepared. And they didn't do lecture. This is a key thing. And this is something that Toyota does very differently. Not lecture. It's actual training. There's a huge difference. And most people that do training, even training professionals with a lot of stickers that show how great they are and what they've achieved in terms of being certified to do, the mistake that they make is lecture. They do an education format. Training is not the same as education. Training is about skill sets. It's about skill change. It's about creating a behavior change. Jason Forrest says it very, very well. Look him up. He's one of the top trainers in the world. And he gets it. And he explains it very succinctly. It's about a behavior change. And adult learning is very different. Once we're out of the formal educational systems, Toyota follows a very effective pattern. They talk about it in classrooms. There's a little bit of lecture, but the context is different. It's classroom time. It's demonstrated time. It's practice it a little bit in the classroom, and then it is go out and do it under supervision, come back, report, talk about it, and then move on to the next portion, the next step in the skills in the process that they're teaching. Astronauts do that very much. They practice, they simulate, they go through time and time and time again, the physical rigorousness that they need in order to be effective after the stress, the physical pressure of being launched. Imagine that being 7.5 times heavier, right? 7.5 times gravity. So you're getting crushed into your seat and all the stress that puts on your body, your joints. So you need to be in good shape to handle that. Practice what it's going to be like in zero-G environment. Now, weightlessness, that brings its own set of challenges. How are you preparing your team for their, okay, Houston, we've had a problem here moment? And they will come. It is guaranteed. It's part of entrepreneurial life, right? Right? It's about solving problems. Stuff happens. You make plans, you implement them, and then everything else goes different, right? No plan gets implemented as written. It's the ability to adapt. It's that preparedness to adapt. It's having the skill set put in place so they can say, okay, we know this is what works. Something for some reason is not working out. It helps them with the problem solving, helps them with the response because they're prepared for it. Do you prepare them for solving problems, specifically for overcoming challenges? Because that's different skill set than just doing it the way it should be done. It's two things. Are you preparing them with the skill set to solve problems and implement changes? And are you training them in a way that's effective for creating a change in behavior? And it's not influencing them to think differently. It's a change in behavior because now they've got new skills, new tools that they can apply, which results in a different behavior in the moment when they are applying something. It's a new best practice. This isn't working. Let me solve the problem here and implement a solution. Preparing them that way will make a massive difference in your business. And it's a huge part of being effectively scaling up your business in an inflationary cycle like we're in right now. Because you need to be focused on productivity. We talked about that last episode. That means you need to be able to create behavior changes, do stuff differently to find a better way, doing things a little bit better each day. the continual improvement, something we talked about in the 1980s. Whoa, I'm dating myself there. In the 1980s, it was about continual improvement, productivity improvement. We'll have more on that going forward. Want to keep this tight and succinct for you. Appreciate your time. Thanks for being part of Wolf's Watch. Thanks for being part of the conversation. Love reading your comments and interacting with you in the comment sections during and after. This is live, 21st Century Television, right? Live and interactive. Thanks for being part of Wolf's Watch. I will see you on the trail.